Yo. All right, we are here. We are here. Kyle, what is up? We've got I want to get right into it. BTJ Purdy and 201 for Josh Allen. I mean, it's a saucy one. I do want to ask the format, but I think it's a pretty. I think if you think like a standard 12 by 10, BTJ Purdy.
Yeah.
You're getting the long-term quarterback. I mean, I'm assuming the contract is happening soon. BTJ, and then you get that 201 juicer. I don't know. What are your initial thoughts? It is Josh Allen.
It's tough. Like, it's always tough to move Josh Allen. And obviously, the shallower the league is, I feel like Josh Allen is even more of a smash because he's basically locked into top 2 for the past 5 years. 10-man super flex. Okay, so half PPR.
Ooh.
I always have a hard time. I would probably. I feel like I'd still go with the Josh Allen side here personally. Not to be lame, it's the hardest player to move off of. You know, like I think there's like only like a few quarterbacks I would consider really moving off of, and to me, Purdy is too much of a drop off in a 10-man league. Like Purdy is just a nothing.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I have absolutely no BTJ fear at all with the Travis Hunter. I do think Travis Hunter will play a ton of receiver. Even with that, no concerns from what we saw rookie year. He's going to smash. But yeah, man, something about Josh Allen in those shallower leagues. And then the 0.5 PPR too just makes me feel like the receivers that I would replace in a 10-man that I probably have on my roster and can kind of plug in there. I feel a little bit comfortable doing this. I feel like the only way I want to try to do a tier down from somebody like Josh Allen or Lamar would be I need to. It's a deep league and I am hurting. Like I'm matching up week to week and I'm just getting smashed at the positional spots. So I just like feel like I need to do a tier down.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting in like Wayne Robinson and as a flex spot, then I would get that. Like you split them. You're like, I still have a decent quarterback. I still get, and I mean, the 201 is what, the 211, or not the 211, the 111 in a 12 team. So it is a little bit nice. It's kind
a
of
fun
like a
pick.
late first in value. You're probably looking at like a Caleb Johnson, maybe a Burden or someone like that. But to me, Josh Allen in this format is still just a difference maker. I would be looking like, could I get Hurts in the first or something like that? That's the type of deal I would look for like a Josh Allen tier down. But going all the way down to a Purdy is a little bit too much for me.
I think for me it's mostly the league. Like I understand, so I see that I'm in a rebuild, so it's tough, need the wide receiver room. I mean, if the roster's really hurting, I get feeling the need to do something like this, but I don't know. I don't want to. How many starters? I know you said 10-man Superflex, 0.5 PPR. If it's not super deep and it's 10-man, like if it's a 10-man start 10, like I just feel like you can very easily make up the production at the positional spots where you don't want to get out of Josh Allen. 10-man starter.
Yeah, no, I
10 by
agree
10. Marv Pickens Coleman. That's not terrible. That's not a terrible wide receiver room. I mean, in a 10-man it hurts. No RB room.
In 10-man, that's right.
Yeah. That's true. Ridley? Okay. We've got wide receivers that will score points for your fantasy football teams in 2025. I'm saying this from the perspective of somebody that does not want to trade away Josh Allen. Josh Allen is my most rostered quarterback, and yes, I have paid the price to get there.
The hard part is you do have Josh Allen, right? Like if it was almost any other quarterback, it'd be like easy, gone. Like if it's Hurts, if it's Burrow.
How far down would you need to go for you to get like? It's tough though because I don't know if those teams are doing that. You know, if you start going too high up, like I know you talked about Hurts in a first. Oh, thank you for the sub. We just hit 1200. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it does work.
Let's go.
Test us on that.
Let's go. Spot on. Yeah. So how far down would you need to go, or I guess higher up would you need to go quarterback wise to want to do elite positional player plus QB for Josh Allen? Like, does it need to be? I don't know if you're getting Herbert.
I don't know if I'm getting like a Herbert. Maybe if I remove like the 201. I mean, I think I like a Kyler or something like that. Like I feel like you could get Kyler for pretty cheapish, you know, but he's kind of locked into always being like a low end QB1 type.
Mm-hmm.
and then you get like a locked in guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not the biggest. I'm not the biggest Purdy. Like I think Purdy's like a Jared Goff, where it's like he's good, but he's not going to demand a market in a 10-team league. I'm more inclined to say, okay, could I go buy a CD Lamb plus something? You know, like I could probably tier up a little bit, or just go a little bit down on the wide receiver tier
Mm-hmm.
and pick up a better quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, like there might be I don't even know what a good example would be, but like Brian Thomas Jr. is like getting hyped up like crazy right now.
Yeah.
You know, like you could get like I don't know if I want to go all the way to like Rashid Rice, but I'm sure you could get like Rashid Rice and like Hurts and like something crazy.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I especially staying in that elite tier. I don't hate that at all. How's it going? Charles Bell Films. Just finished your drafts. Got Caleb Johnson at the 108 and Kyle Williams at the 308. I love the Kyle Williams at the 308. I feel like he's getting really steamed up after those second round receivers go. I feel like I've seen him closer to the early third
People like him.
than the late third in a lot of my drafts. I like Kyle Williams too. I mean, the spot's really good. I think that's kind of when you get to that range of receivers, like when you understand it is a dart throw, you do kind of want to take those exciting spots where it's like, okay, he's got to beat out receivers that the Pats have already given up on, and then Stephon Diggs coming off the ACL.
I will say I did take RJ Harvey at the 108 over Caleb Johnson, but it was okay because at the 110 I took Caleb Johnson. So I do think that late first range, if you need running back, Caleb Johnson, like RJ Harvey, is just so you're like, okay, awesome. I'm locked into pretty much guaranteed production of some kind versus like these, like on the clock when I'm like, do I want Matthew Golden? Do I want a Burden? I'm like just give me the running back that I know is going to play. I can lock him in. It's harder with some of those guys in that range.
Mm-hmm. Steelers fan, so I'm biased, and Harvey's already taken at the 105. Dang. Okay, I want to answer this question. So I'm an Igbuka guy. I will take Henderson before and then Judkins is tough for me. I mean, excited about the spot. I mean, I like Judkins too, the prospect. Hard for me to get super excited about the Brown spot when I do think there's a chance that he does give up a lot of that pass catching stuff to, you know, potentially Samson. I mean, obviously they're kind of resetting the running back room. They still have Ford there.
I will say Nick Chubb released a video of him squatting like 500 pounds. So
future Browns running
maybe
back.
He's back.
Yeah, well,
Are you taking Igbuka over a Warren, a Loveland?
So
both the tight ends.
Yeah, so I think the tight ends I'm gonna have to find a share of these tight ends because I do like them. I'm a Loveland over Warren guy, but I do like them both. I like them both, but for me, unless the tight end position really matters, so I'm talking probably it's got to be at least full point tight end premium for me to really go for the tight end over a first round receiver and then some of these exciting running backs. I just think the production of the tight end has to give you for that to be impactful for your roster, unless it's a full tight end premium. Full point tight end premium is just not worth taking the bet that they're worth nothing, you know. Not worth nothing, but you know what I'm saying. Relative. I do not want to answer this question. I purposely avoided the Bill Belichick interview stuff.
No, I know what you're saying.
Oh no.
Rough. That was rough.
Yeah. I don't know if you're talking about the Bill Belichick interview being rough or you cut out a little bit there. That was rough as well. It's always rough losing you a little bit, but I think you're back.
Yeah, I feel like my internet is on the fritz right now, so may have to call Spectrum. Hopefully we can
Spectrum
persist. We'll fight through.
No, it's GG. If we're both on Spectrum, I didn't know we were both Spectrum. Oh, it might be over, guys. What percent fab should I throw on Dylan Sampson and Quinn Ewers after rookie draft resets before the season? I don't really care about rostering Quinn Ewers. I do like the one like backup away.
Yeah, no.
I would prefer Dylan Sampson. I just think there's a more immediate opportunity to mattering and being able to move. What do you think? Are you buying Quinn Ewers in those ranges of it's nice to have backup quarterbacks on your roster?
My computer is flickering like crazy, but I am not buying Quinn Ewers. I think that you can wait on that. Dylan Sampson, I'm surprised. I mean, I took him. I mean, he was going off in the 3rd round in some of the drafts I was doing. So I would probably put I'm not saying below all your fab, because I think fab is most useful from like week 1 to week 4 ish, when you can see players that get usage that we didn't expect. But if your league is deep,
it sounds like it
if it's deep at
resets
all.
before the season. So I'd be curious what other players. So what other running backs are out there? Definitely let us know, because I think if Dylan Sampson's out there, probably some of these other fun guys. I would definitely want to add one of those interesting running backs, like a Woody Marks. Specifically, I feel like he's a guy who goes pretty late, who could easily walk into an immediate role as kind of that Dario Gumbawale pass catching running back for the Texans.
No, I agree. I'm a Woody Marks stan over here. He's my guy.
I traded out of Woody Marks to get an extra pick at the end of the 4th, and ended up getting DJ Giddens instead, and I was a little sad because I was hoping I would still get Marks there.
Well, Giddens is also 1 injury away.
Yeah, and I like Giddens. I think they're kind of similar too, because I don't love the running back pass catching situation for the Colts with Rich Daniel Jones, but I don't even know. Should I even say Riley Leonard? I probably shouldn't say Riley Leonard. I probably have to say like Sam Ehlinger if I say that. But okay, so I think this is Drake London. So Caleb Williams and Drake London instead of BTJ Purdy. Would you do that for Josh Allen?
Nah, I don't think I'd do it in that format.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is probably one of the hardest guys to trade.
I know. Yeah. It's tough too with the quarterbacks too, because you probably don't, if you have Josh Allen, you probably don't have that kind of like nice 3 QB room. Like, it's pretty rare for you to have Josh Allen and 2 other solid QBs, so I get one to do the tier down, but
I'd be more inclined to, honestly, to
what other options do you have to
not even trade for a quarterback? Right? Like, I would be like, I'm just gonna liquidate Josh Allen and get like
full
Justin
tank
Jefferson
receiver
plus or something.
Yeah.
Like just let me not have to worry about wide receiver, because in a 10 team, if I'm trading out of an elite quarterback, I don't want to have to be like, oh, well, Jared Goff counts for something. Like, I'm like, let me get the most important position that matters in the league. At the high end, it's going to be wide receiver. Let me go get the best one I can.
Yeah. No worries, Sean. No worries. Appreciate all the apologies. But don't worry. We're happy you're all here. And while you're here,
we're in here.
Drop a like. Hit the sub button if you're not sub. Let's see that number go up. I got to do my I'm working on my marketing pitches in between pulling up the chats. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna watch
yours
film.
Are better than mine, so it's okay.
Well, Sean's usually the best. Sean actually like gives us the reminders.
Sean is we need to pull Sean on and just be like, have him do the
throw him up in a little cam in the corner. It's like a little ad read that happens.
If we get 15 likes, we do another rookie draft.
Yeah, I'm down for rookie drafts if you guys want to do it. I've a couple three rookie drafts in. And man, I will say it is kind of fun going through, thinking about last week's live stream and kind of being in the streets, in the trade market versus just like picking player to player. Oh man, it's nothing like it, man. Nothing like it.
Being on the clock, you feel it.
Oh yeah. What's up, Curtis? 10-man Superflex took Hunter. Oh, the 108. Dang.
Wait, where?
We got Travis Hunter at the 108 in 2025. That's crazy.
In a 10-man?
Warren at the 203. Okay, I guess the 203 Warren makes a little bit more sense when in a 10-man. Then traded Addison and the 208 for CMC to share my RB room since Hall and Kamara on a contending team. I will say absolute banger picks. I'll give you that. I don't know. How do you feel about Addison in the 208, which is probably 206? You're probably looking at like 2nd round receiver range.
It's like a Cam Scatterboo, probably.
Scatterboo or Trey Harris, like that kind of for CMC. So Hall Kamara, if you're not having to play CMC, I don't think it's bad though. Like I don't think a couple years from now you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't make that 208 pick. But I don't know. I probably would have held. I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably the price for CMC.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those deals that's tough. You don't get like the free gimmies, but it's one of the deals that I think as a contending team you kind of make. Addison is a locked-in wide receiver too, pretty much. He's not going to go crazy, but he's going to do well enough. And then you also have Hall, which is somewhat younger guy, and then Kamara. You're trying to win. It's a 10-man super flex. So even like an Addison's less valuable in that type of league where you need difference makers. And if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, he's going to be a difference maker. I mean, even the few games he played last year, which weren't amazing, they were still, RB1 weeks. So to me, I'm like, cool, what's the 208 going to do in a 10-man super flex? Unless if it's like start 15 players or something crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Consolidate there.
You kind of got to pay up if you're going to get the name of Christian McCaffrey, but McCaffrey, Kamara, Hall, you got 3 locked in starters there. You can ride the hype of a Warren, a Hunter. Hunter at 108 is insane. So you enjoy that. That's like what was it like if you did the draft like 3 months ago when everyone was like, oh, I don't know about Hunter. Like, is Hunter a late first?
The
like,
sleeper
it's
ADP.
crazy that you still got that
scroll
value.
down.
Yeah,
that is crazy. This is a fun one. And then I see we got some questions. I see Sean, you put something in the Discord live stream. I'll pull that up. League scoring. If you had to create a league, what scoring settings would you do in roster settings? You wanna take that one? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, if I was to create a league, what scoring settings would you do in roster settings? I think my sweet spot's probably like a 12-team start 11. I feel like that's like one of the better balances. Superflex. I'm a sucker for half PPR. I just feel like the scoring with running backs.
Interesting.
To me, I like that better. Okay. I haven't played in like a tiered PPR, so that's something I might want to try out. In general, I'm just like do a half PPR type of league with like a 0.25 or no, like I don't know. I mean, it's like a tight end premium. It's not a full double, but like I guess like it'd be like 3 bonus for tight ends, so it's kind of in line. Are you kind of the league I like.
Are you a big play bonus guy at all? That like 40-yard reception, rushes stuff, completions?
I don't. I think it's fun. I just never notice it. Like I'm never like, oh, my big play bonus, because I feel like every time I'm in a big play bonus league, it's like, oh, you get 1 point, and I'm like, well, that's already like a 10-point play to begin with, so it doesn't really matter.
You want to know where you do notice it? I noticed it in the league I was in that it was set up incorrectly. So they got a 40-yard touchdown was like big play bonus 40-yard reception, big play bonus 40-yard touchdown catch. Then you get the points for the touchdown, 40 yards. Yeah. And then it's like Tyreek Hill in 2022 scored 60 points in a week.
I will say I did notice it in one of our leagues, like one of the home leagues I play in, and we did IDP. And for some reason, they're all stacks. So like a sack would be a tackle for a loss, and a sack. So like our first year, I think sacks were like 10 points. And it was like, oh, like you would just have like TJ Watt go off for 55 points. And you're like, well, like, thank you, Josh Allen, for your 26 points, but that's nothing because TJ Watt got 3 sacks.
You talking about the sack and the tackle for loss makes me think of middle school, Will, inventing the word sackle, which is a tackle for, it's just an easier way of saying tackle for loss. You could get a sack or a sackle. Thoughts? It's patent pending, so nobody take that and try to run with it.
I like the, it sounds more like a popsicle. Like you could like
sackle.
Have like a popsicle of a player tackling. I feel like isn't a sack already a tackle to begin with?
I was in middle school.
I guess you could have that. You could have the sack where they trip and fall.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be I think it's just replacing the TFL. It's just like saying tackle for loss, or you could say you get sackled the running back. Yeah.
Sackled the running back.
I'm going to pull this up, but right as I was about to pull this up, Sean, I saw on the clock Quinshon Judkins or Jonathan Taylor. I think for me, Judkins or JT, I think for me, and I don't want to get too engulfed in the rookie fever, and I do like Judkins. I don't know. I feel like
say it.
I feel like I'm going JT. I think the way that you want to treat the running back position, and JT is, I mean, he's no spring chicken, but he's not approaching that like, oh man, this is our final years of Jonathan Taylor that we've got here. And I kind of treat the running back in 2 to 3 year windows anyways. So like, yes, you want to lean the rookie, of course, when you know the production is going to be there. But guys, we are talking about the Cleveland Browns starting running back who might be a little bit more reliant on touchdown scoring in an offense that is either going to be led by Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. Not even
They have another
Deshaun
one.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson, he's not even gonna
Yeah,
play this
we
year.
should have left it at they have another one. Is what we should have left it as.
Yeah, we should have. We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
But I get it. I get it. And this could easily look stupid come week 2 when Judkins has 20 carries for 90 yards and 3 catches, and it's like, well, yeah, give me the couple year discount.
He has the CEH week 1. I honestly, to me, I think it comes down to your team most likely. If I'm a win now team, give me Jonathan Taylor. Like I don't really care about Judkins. If my team is, I load in Dynasty Daddy and I see contender, I'm like, okay, give me the guy that I can rely on. If I'm kind of like a fraud or rebuilding team, Jonathan Taylor doesn't fit my window. I would have to make this trade and then have to trade Jonathan Taylor.
Are you
So I'd probably just
drafting?
take Judkins.
Well, I'm gonna do this for you. Are you taking
Okay.
Igbuka? You're on the clock. Let's say it's the 108. You're on the clock. Somebody's offering you. You could either draft Judkins or you could take JT from them. You're kind of that fraud team. You're like, JT, probably the better projection, but like I'm not really trying to win right now. Are you denying the trade and taking Igbuka there?
Yeah, I mean, I would take Igbuka and maybe even like a Burden, like someone that's like a year or two away.
Oof. Oh, do you
I don't
think,
know
do
if I
you think
would take
Burden's
Burden
has
that
the
high,
sauce? Yeah, Burden's a little scary. He's a little scary, but I do like Burden. I've
Burden,
got
I'd
him.
take it like the 110 or 111. I'd be like, sure, like why not?
Ooh, this is interesting. So this is back to that quarterback trade we were talking through. Josh Allen, Michael Penix, Russ Wilson, and Stafford. So you almost, I don't know, you still do want to tear down. It is very tough to
Okay.
get excited about this QB room, even though they are all starting in the National Football League.
It's a 10-team league. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
Why do you
care
have
about
4
Brock
QBs?
Purdy if I have these 3 other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, what I would say is like, can I get in a top 5 wide receiver? And honestly, maybe you just take it because Brian Thomas Jr. is the best guy you can get. Maybe you just take it because you're like, hey, that's the best guy I can get. I don't even know how high. I'll look up on Dynasty Daddy. I don't know how high Brian Thomas even is ranking wise. So he's wide receiver 5 right now on Keep Trade Cut.
I would almost try to. I mean, I don't know if I'm getting a little too saucy here. I would almost see if you could decimate a team in these shallow leagues that doesn't have a strong quarterback room and get 2 elite weapons for Josh Allen. He should carry that weight in a shallow league.
What I would do is I would just literally go Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Neighbors, and then be like, okay, if I can't get any of them, I'm just gonna take the steal because I need a wide receiver. I have 3 other starting quarterbacks currently, and I don't really need to worry about getting a quarterback back. In this deal, you do get a quarterback back, so then you can kind of move Penix or move whatever, and you get a second they can use to take a running back or something. So honestly, I've talked myself back into it. Now that I see your room, if you're going to get gross with the quarterbacks, might as well try to get that elite wide receiver.
People forget JT won these. Hey, I'm no JT hater. But let's not disrespect 19th overall, first round receiver. I'm an Igbuka guy. I did have a saucy trade. I won't get too into it. We have too many trades for me to start yapping about my leagues. But I will say, Will made a I want to have fun in the rookie draft trade a couple days ago where I gave up a Monra St. Brown and ended up turning it into Hampton, Igbuka, and Luther Burden.
Got to get younger.
Got to get funner.
That's tough from you. You're a Lions fan too. That must be tough.
I am. I'm even wearing the Lions shirt right now. Dang. All right, let's. I'm gonna pull up the Sean question. While I'm getting it ready, let's hit one more just so we can kind of keep this moving. So this is the wide receiver room. Lamb, JSA, Neighbors, Wilson, Hill, Adunze, now Hunter. Fine giving up some wide receiver depth. So this was that trade.
Yeah, with Addison.
With the Addison. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah,
exactly. This wide receiver room is crazy.
You may plug it into a trade calculator and it says you lose, but in a 10-team Superflex league, are you starting all of them? No. So, like, who cares? Like, you're getting a CMC that if he does play, he's going to crush, and then everyone's going to be like, I can't believe I didn't take Derrick Henry last year when he went to the Baltimore Ravens, one of the best offenses in the league. Like, why didn't I think about that? It's because you're like, oh, he's old. You know, like, obviously CMC has more baggage with the Achilles stuff, but still, if you turn an Addison who's maybe a bench flex guy into a locked-in RB1, RB2 on your team, I mean, that's a win in my books. Sometimes you gotta think what's best for your team in your current window than what the trade calculator says. And that's that's coming from someone that makes a trade calculator. So, that's how you know. That's how you know. There's no bias here. Well, there's some bias, but
All right, Sean, let me know if this is incorrect. I am doing my best. All right, that's what I'll say. But I think you threw
okay. Here's the production value.
Here we go. All right, so we've got. All right, so he would like us to take a look at the draft. Thoughts on how we did. Going to post 2 leagues. So this is the first one. This is a 12 by 10 Superflex PPR, 0.15 point per carry, 0.5 tight end premium.
Ooh.
So, well, we see. So it's the full roster down here, and we can kind of take a look at where we're at, and then kind of what we did in the draft to get there. So Drake May, Michael Penix ended up adding Jalen Milroe and Shador. Got to get that. Got to get that Shador. Love it.
That's spicy.
Yeah, that's too spicy for me. But I'm not against the spicy 211 Jalen Milroe. But this team is kind of, you can afford to make a Shador pick on this team. Bijan, Hampton, Judkins, and Harvey and Scatabo, and you added ETN.
Ooh, I love that.
CD, Marv, Ladd, T. I mean, usually I'm fine fading receivers. I almost would, man, why can't that 206? Why couldn't that have been a Trey Harris or a Besh or something? But I'm not here just to, I mean, you asked us to talk about it, so I will talk about it. Yeah, I mean, your wide receiver room probably doesn't need it, but I just feel like even though those 4 are so locked in, solid, the next one being Coker, I almost would rather take a shot on one of those second round receivers than Shador. But you get Kyle Williams.
Would you have rather taken with like the 107 or 108? I can't believe I'm even saying this because I love RJ Harvey, but
Dang.
potentially would it have been better to you to take one of the top tight ends? Because currently his starter is JT Sanders on Dynasty Daddy, and he's got to hook some of these late round tight ends.
Yeah, it's 0.5 tight end premium. I mean, I am totally fine kind of fully fading the position. But with that being said, you're probably Bing chilling at running back. But I mean, would you be surprised if you could turn around and sell Harvey for, one of those like TJ Hawkinson, like Harvey plus for.
What I probably would have done is taken that 206 and been like, can I get like a Jonnu or something? And just be like, okay, or like an Evan Ingram. Like, just give me a guy that's like something. We just want to make you feel bad about that 206 Shador pick. I will say I love the conviction there. Yeah, the Kyle Williams stack, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. Like if you're going to stack him, go for it. Because if he does hit, he'll be a decent flex.
What's the trade offer for the pillows? The pillows in the back. I do have a cool background. I just have poor camera placement. I have like a Detroit Lions decal. I'll have to show it on stream one time. But if I start moving this camera, this stream is done. It's getting shut down.
I mean, honestly though, like we are definitely nitpicking. I will say, like,
oh yeah, great draft.
Bottom into the draft.
Great team.
I do think Sanders you're going to be able to flip for a second. I do think Milroe you could probably potentially flip for a second in the future.
Let's hear what's your thought on the. I actually do. So I've been kind of a Shador hater in my rookie draft so far, where I see him go in the second, and I'm like, what are we doing? But I do kind of get that if he is starting for the Cleveland Browns at some point this next season, you probably could get a second if he has like a 1 or 2 decent looking games, and you're like, man, what was the NFL doing? Like, I do think that stigma exists in fantasy communities.
I think.
I don't believe in it, but
to me, I think early third is probably where I would say it makes sense to me. Like, to me, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I can get a second for him by using a second. Like, I feel like a lot has to go right to really get a first. Like, the worst player, I think, well, I'll say the 2 worst players I can remember that a lot of people were trading first for were like Sutton last year when they just needed a wide receiver, and like 2 years ago, Sam Howell. Whereas like, oh, he's locked in as the starter. He's throwing the ball 80 times a game. Like, I don't think Sanders will break that, but also I don't know. Like the hype around him, all of that, it could happen. So to me, like if I have an early third, he's there. I probably will tap it just to be like, cool, like I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But second, I feel like in the 206, you're passing up on like Trey Harris, you're passing up on
Yeah.
like a Scattaboo or a Tootin. Like I'm like, there's too many options that can really impact my team that I'd rather kind of just take a shot on.
Yeah. And that's the that's a tough thing too. I mean, the Browns with the extra first right after the Jags trade. So, I mean, this just feels like a team that this season is just going to be the grossest QB carousel audition. We're probably gonna see Dylan Gabriel at some point. We're probably gonna see Kenny Pickett at some point. Joe Flacco's getting in there. This will be I'm pour one out for your Browns fans. This will be an interesting.
We passed on Golden.
That
Sean said he passed on Golden. I feel like at the 206.
I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I just don't buy his profile. I love you, Sean. We're talking about a 6th round quarterback. I get the weird stuff. I get it.
Hey. Respect. 5th round.
Okay. I'm sorry. A first round receiver. I get the profile.
I have the hard. I will agree with Sean here. Like I do have a hard time. There's been times where I'm like, should I take Golden first round? Only first round wide receiver in a decent spot where you could easily see him getting usage.
Yeah.
But outside like obviously Tet and Hunter. But to me, I was like, I can't do it at the late first. But at the 206, I'm like, that's probably as cheap as you're going to be able to get them. So for me, I'm like, I feel like I got to do that.
I know. I just feel like we too, so often we're wrong about, and I don't even think like I get the prospect stuff, but there's just so much context that has to be added to a lot of these situations with Texas, with Bond and Quinn Ewers, and I'm not even going to pretend to like walk through the entire trajectory and explanation of like why Golden will smash for the Packers, but would not surprise me at all if he just does what Romeo Doubs did for them last season, and maybe he's even slightly better, and then that looks pretty good as a rookie profile in a good situation. Jordan Love was hurt a lot last season as well. All right, I got to address this. Starting to think Will is lying about having a sweet background. We can do this with that.
Oh boy,
look at that.
Oh,
look at that.
Is that a fat head?
It is I don't know if you have a crafty woman in your life, Jeremy, but I do. I don't want to make any assumptions on who the crafty one is, but no, it is like cricket. Does that word mean anything to you?
Yeah. Yes.
Cricket vinyl stuff. I'm not gonna pretend to know.
Becca has a cricket as well.
Okay, I'm more of I help stick it on the wall. Wedding. Oh, okay, there you go. Thank you, Grady.
But yeah, that's
shout out Grady.
Shouts to Grady.
All right, I want to make sure I don't miss any of these questions. Yeah, I'm gonna crank through these. Would you trade the 103? So this is Amari Hampton in my league, plus the 209 for the 105 and CMC? 103. So 105. So I assume. What do you think? It's Genty, Hunter, Amari and Hampton. So you're looking at
Tedder, Hampton,
Tedder, Ward.
I assume it's super flex, so probably Tet or Ward. I'm such a Hampton. Value says you have to take it because to me, you're getting CMC who's impactful, and you're getting another player that has a high chance of doing well. And I assume if you're trading for CMC, you're at least some sort of contender. So I probably do take the package here. Even though I will say first round running backs are some of the safest bets you can make. So Hampton at the 103 to me is still amazing.
I kind of want to. I'm curious, and I'm in on Hampton too. I took him at the 103 in my home league rookie draft that I just had the other day. But I'm curious, if you had to place your bets, would you bet on Hampton having the second highest fantasy points per game rookie season at the running back position? So I'm saying behind Genty.
Would I guess?
Rookie season, if you had to place a bet, you're saying I'm putting my money on Hampton. Would you do that versus Harvey, Caleb Johnson, Judkins, Travion Henderson? If you had to pick one, is Hampton the one you're picking? And I'm not even saying this is like an anti-Hampton thing at all. I think it's totally fine if you say, I might give it to this guy, but like Hampton, first round running back. Yeah, Najee's going to be annoying, but man, end of this season, next season, he's going to smash. I totally agree with that, but I was just curious.
I do think because like Hampton's behind like Joe Alt. Whereas like Judkins
situation,
behind
offense.
I mean, Cleveland had such a bad offensive line last year. No good quarterback play. Like Hampton's going into an amazing situation. He has Najee, but Najee's on backup money anyway. Mm-hmm. Henderson has this weird split. Like they are paying Stevenson a lot of money. So I assume there'll be some sort of committee there. I could say RJ Harvey. Broncos offensive line's really good. So it's obviously Sean Payton. He knows how to use his running backs. So, but if I had to place a bet, I'd be like, Hampton first round. Like they're going to invest in him, an amazing offensive line, amazing defense. Yeah. It's hard to see them not just run the ball with Hampton a ton.
Yeah, and I mean, Harbaugh loves that guy. He's just watching film, just giggling, just getting so excited. He's gonna smash. He is a legit difference maker. I do love Hampton. Have you ever done an expansion draft in Dynasty? So I have not. I'm pretty familiar with setting them up and but I will say, and let me know if you have experience with this and want to talk through specific rules. I think for me the biggest thing is practice like a mock expansion draft where you look at, if we protect this many players, here's what the pool would look like, here's what the teams would look like. You want these two teams coming in to have a reasonable roster. So it's tough, but you have to kind of find the cutoff where you are giving up players that do matter.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's, to me, I think the practice idea is a really good idea. I haven't been in one. Part of me thinks if you do an expansion, why don't you just do a brand new startup and like just be like, cool, like let's do it over. Because I just have a hard time with an expansion not having someone feel like they get screwed over, right. In some sort of way. Like, I have all these like high value depth players, and it's like now I'm screwed, and and it's like a rebuilder. It's like I don't really give a crap, like.
And that can happen in a 10-man. The teams that successfully consolidate and have Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, like, yikes.
But I do think the practice one's a good idea of just like do a practice run, kind of figure out that threshold where the new teams aren't screwed for years. That's another thing where it's like if you protect too many players, you're not to pick on the guy, but Wayndale Robinson's your wide receiver one. Like there's only so much you can do, So like
we've hit our Wayndale Robinson max mention for the stream tonight, I think. Next one is Darius Slayton.
Darius Slayton. Hey, Slayton actually has some good weeks.
Dude, I've been taking him in best ball, man. Slayton's my best ball stamp. How about Deontay Johnson signing with the Browns? We didn't talk about that.
That's true.
Do you have a take? Is he worth random crappy pick for hopefully a Joe Flacco led offense?
I mean, as long as it's Flacco or Sanders, I'll ride with it. All I want is Hard Knocks. That's all I want.
Oh gosh. I think we're gonna want that until we watch the first episode, and then we're gonna be like, maybe we should have picked a different team. Maybe this should have just been a spinoff.
That's gonna be like some garbage reality TV. It's gonna be gold.
That's true. Real quick before we get into this one, any interest in Elijah Moore potentially with the Bills?
No.
Best ball? Can I interest you in best ball?
Best ball you could interest me in.
True.
Because you don't have to start him. You can capture that 3 catches, 2 touchdown game that he has.
It just feels like it's Curtis Samuel all over again for Will. I was a big Curtis Samuel guy. Most roster.
I've always been. I've never enjoyed it though.
He did. It was. I will say, it was very funny to have him be my most rostered receiver in best ball, and then have him just smash against the Broncos in the playoffs. That one week, he just had a bomb touchdown. Like, man, you couldn't have done this
all
once.
year. I've been waiting for you, man.
Yeah. Turf toe, whatever. I don't know. All right, what's up, Jeff? 10-team PPR, single quarterback. Okay, single quarterback, getting the mindset. 106 and a projected mid-second for King Henry. The 108 and a 27 third. Oh, I
Give
mean
me
one.
Henry. Give me
Oh
Henry
yeah, one
and run
QB.
away. Yeah.
Yeah,
One QB, you move back 2 spots. I guarantee you, if you look up WAR in that league, Derrick Henry is like a top 5 player.
and that 108 is
Last
still
year.
yeah, and compared to the 106, especially when you remove Ward from the equation, I think it's like a pretty similar-ish tier, anyways.
Yeah, I mean you're giving
You're
up
outside of
Judkins
Tat.
ish,
You're outside of the running
and you're
backs.
picking up like R.J. Harvey or Caleb Johnson. So it's
Yeah,
like I don't really care.
yeah, and then the
Yeah,
mid
definitely
second
take
for
that
a
over.
third, it's single quarterback too. So mid seconds carry less weight when the quarterbacks don't matter.
Tristan's giving you some crap over here.
All right, let's see it. Pull it up. I want you to pull it up. Let's see what do we got here.
Egbuka over JT is
Oh,
nuts.
I did pull this up. All right, here's what I'll say. I could be totally wrong, okay? But catch me being wrong on a first round receiver who has been productive through college that I like and I think is going to see the field. And in an offensive situation, I will say what you will about the situation of Mike Evans potentially retiring after the season, Chris Godwin coming off the injury. I get that it feels like a crowded receiving room. Cade mother effing Otten was smashing for this Buccaneers team last season as the only receiving option when those guys were hurt. And you're telling me Igbuka?
No, I agree.
Thank you. I just think
Well,
I'm a Baker guy. I'm a Bucks guy. I'm a Igbuka guy.
If you're a rebuilder, I would definitely do that in a heartbeat. Like Jonathan Taylor, it's like a game of hot potato. It's like eventually he's going to be valued at like an Aaron Jones or at best like Derrick Henry, which is like realistically Derrick Henry is a freak. I don't know if Jonathan Taylor is that much of a freak.
You can
He's
get more for
certainly
JT
he has some freak.
in the
He has
streets.
some freak.
I think.
Yeah, like to me, I'm like, I think that's about what you expect.
Ooh, starter caliber, maybe top 30. So I think this is back to talking through the expansion draft a little bit. How do you decide how many starters you need to? Okay, so I think this is different. How many starters do you decide you need to compete, and what ranks a player as starter caliber? I don't know if you want to talk to this too. I know Dynasty Daddy, the elites, league breaker stuff. Do you think like trying to utilize WAR? I think yeah. Let me know if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, generally, like I can obviously dive into a bunch of WAR and things like that, but typically how I'd like to build is use WAR to guideline, like to give me a map of what players are producing elite, and then how do I acquire those players, right? And if I look at the trade value for those players, I can say, okay, most times elite quarterbacks, elite wide receivers cost the most, and they're most likely right. Meaning Justin Jefferson, you have to pay your kidney, but he's going to make you a new kidney. Whereas like running back, if you look at the top running backs every year, there's a bunch of cheap guys in there. There's a Derrick Henry. There's Aaron Jones is sometimes, depending on formats, was put up decent numbers. So to me, I always say, okay, cool. I try to build around, can I get a couple, like 2 or 3 of those shiny, that they're gold in the bank, like they're always going to be worth something, even if like they lose both their legs or something. So like I need a couple of those elite guys, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Can I make some cheap bets on like a Jonnu for elite production? Like, can I try to chase some of those shorter bets for like these cheaper guys? Because if you hit on those, it's like sick. Like I got Jonnu and he's tight end 1 for the playoffs. So you're like, that's perfect. If you don't, it's like, well, I wasted a second. It's not like, oh, I traded 3 first for, Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson was a wide receiver too. Like I don't want to chase guys that have kind of that inflated value, like Marvin Harrison Jr. last year, who's like wide receiver 7 coming in. It's like, I'd rather just get a guy that's already done it if I'm going to be paying that price. So it's kind of a different way to look at it, because there's obviously WAR. You can just look at the pure numbers of what they're scoring, but there's also the trade value and what people will actually pay for it price. And it's like, even now it's like, okay, what can you get for like Derrick Henry? It's like, I don't know. Like, are you getting the 106? I don't know. But like history tells us you probably should. I mean, he's going to probably be a top 10, top 20 most impactful player next year. So it's something like that.
All right, I was about to give my agree response, but we are entering the lightning round phase of, we are a little bit behind. So I am going to we're
lightning
going to
round
do
phase.
lightning rounds
Okay.
for some of these questions. Let's start here.
I feel
Mr.
like we need a
B.
graphic.
I need to play some
Mr.
background
B.
music. 12 by 11 super flex. This is no tight end premium. 4-point pass touchdown. You got Burrow, DK, or Penix, the 111, a 26 first, and a 26 second. 12 by 11. I will say it gets deep enough where I don't mind kind of tearing down to get first, and I do like the 111 in this class, but I think I'm probably still going Burrow and DK, even though I like Penix. I think
I agree.
DK 111 is like fine. And then Penix and the 26 first and a 26 second, those are just random, not really knowing much. I think I'm probably just sticking with the elite quarterback, even in a 4-point.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the elite. If it was more of like a potential, like it was earlier, like it was like the 104 or something, I think that would be more enticing. But essentially, like the 111 for DK kind of cancel out, and this Penix in the future first. And I'd rather just keep Burrow and a wide receiver that's probably going to produce better than the 111.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about 1 QB? Stand with Penix. Penix for a 27 third and Tank Dell. Oh, man. Can I get a different throw in? But I guess probably the 27 third and Tank Dell, but can we make it a different player?
No. I will say 1 QB quarterbacks don't matter, but you're basically trading him for a third.
Yeah, and the third and a single
third.
quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, like to me,
I guess I'll hold Penix.
My question would be, and I know this might not be lightning round appropriate, but
Denied.
if you have a quarterback that's higher rated, like if you have someone that people like more, like a Herbert, maybe try moving him in a one QB league and get something of more value. Because if this is like the best deal you can get for Penix, you're gonna be stuck with Penix.
Yeah. True. Good call. All right, you convinced me. I'm with it. 12 team, 1 quarterback. Is transitioning to Superflex in 2028. These are interesting questions. I love these. On the clock at the 204, stack team, so none of these guys are starting for me. Would you take Start, Scadaboo, Harris, or Tootin? So it's 2028 is when we're transitioning. Is Jackson Dart the starting quarterback for the New York Giants in 2028? Is I think the question.
Yeah, I'm taking Scadaboo here. Even though he might not start, you're going to have bye weeks. You're going to have injuries, and a running back can slot in a 1 QB league and actually be a guy that matters.
Yeah.
And Scadaboo has a good opportunity. I would say it's a good chance to try to make trades to secure some backup quarterbacks, not real backups, but like the Purdy's or the Goffs or something. Dart to me by 2028. I mean, if they don't figure out this year, he's probably not a starting quarterback because they're going to bring in a new coach. So to me, that situation is too scary for me to invest a pick and feel good about that.
It's so tough. I don't want to make this so granular, but for me, I think about 1 year before the Superflex change is going to happen, those quarterbacks will carry weight and value. Like you'll be able to move them once people are 1 year away of, oh crap, next year I'm going to have to put somebody in this slot. So 2028 makes it tougher, man. If that's a 2027, I probably would go Dart for sure. I might still lean Dart, mostly because I'm assuming 12 team one QB, confidently saying none of these guys are starting for me. Not even that I need to worry about Scadaboo or Tootin starting for me to make that pick. But I don't know. Man, if it was, I'm trying not to get too caught up in the Scadaboo hype, but I think I'm getting taken by it.
I will say if you really want a quarterback, try trading that 204 for like a Michael Penix or something.
Ooh. Like QB1 of the class.
Because they're definitely, you could definitely get a guy that's more locked in than a Dart.
All right. I see Brad.
There's a lot of pillow talk going on right now.
Yeah, no pillow talk in the chat, guys.
No pillow giveaway at the 12:01.
Brad, I think we did talk about this one a little bit. I think I saw it posted again, but we went with 105 is fine to move back in our opinions to get CMC, even though we are both big Amari and Hampton guys, just because you get to stay within that Tat Ward range is what we're assuming, and then you're still getting the running back for that in CMC for that 209, which the way I like to
It's
treat running back positions, I like to slot in the smashers.
Yeah, it's tough. And assuming you're trading CMC for CMC because your team is rather win now.
Yeah.
It's hard to give up Hampton, but you're getting two valuable pieces that people want.
Mm-hmm. It would have a Larry, 12 by 11 PPR, 0.75 10 in premium. This is our startup year rookie draft. First trade is the 110, the 210, and a 26 first for the 102 and the 303. So it would be Hampton and Jalen Noel. 110, 26 first. It's kind of an interesting move. You know, you assume at that 110, you can probably still get one of those running backs. Plus you're tacking on the 26 first. I don't know. You're the Hampton guy. I want to hear your thoughts on this, because I think it is kind of a sneaky savvy move to kind of just make your bet that one of those running backs is going to be close enough to that 26 first. Feels great.
I got my answer.
All right, let's hear it. This is the Hampton truther. So you're getting
the real answer. You take the package. You take the package. 12 by 11. You probably need starters.
12 by 11.
You also got a decent tight end premium. So some of those tight ends are going to go.
Yeah.
You might also end up with like a Warren if you need a tight end,
mm-hmm.
and then you bag a future first, and even at the 210, you might be able to land like a Tootin or someone like that. And in a 12 by 11, I mean, you need starters most likely. If your team's loaded or whatever, I still honestly take the package. Too much flexibility there.
All right. I was worried, John P, but not worried anymore. Happy you're here. Appreciate you popping in. I do think Shador probably does see the field. I want to give you the Shador time you deserve, just because I've been so anti Shador. He's not even on the board, and I have to see him because he's at the top of that sleeper ADP, at least for the rookie drafts that I had started right after the NFL draft. Mm-hmm. He was right up there the whole time. I see him go in the second round. I'm laughing. Oh my gosh. No way you took Shador.
I don't think he's that bad. I do agree with some of the like Sean said, where it's like a lot of it was how he interviewed, who he's tied to. I also think there's a lot of like, if I'm a coach on the hot seat, I'm not gonna get Sanders and then have his dad saying, I could coach better than him already on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm. But is he?
It's just such a circus.
It is a circus. I'll give it that. But I just think that there's got to be more than 30% of that. That is just these teams don't think he is a NFL franchise quarterback. Like there has to. You don't have to say it's 100%. That's 100% the reason. But you can't tell me it's 0%. It's not 100% the circus. It cannot be.
I think he's like a 6 or 7 out of 10 in terms of like prospect. But I think he has the ego of like a Rodgers or like a Cam Newton, where it's like
mm-hmm.
It's too much of a circus if you're not like a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. Like it's just too much circus, and I think he just rubbed people the wrong way, which I don't necessarily agree with that. Like if he's a good player, you should take him. But I could also say if I'm on the hot seat, I'm about to get canned. I'm not going to be like, let me bring in Sanders and have his dad breathing down my neck saying, I could coach better than you and get the boot, because I know that would literally be the narrative every single game you lose. Be like, why aren't you starting Sanders? Why are you starting Russ?
I will say, Dylan Gabriel's getting booed. Kenny Pickett's getting booed the minute you get a bad interception. My bad. I'm going to apologize. I see we're 20 minutes behind on the chat I'm pulling up right now. My bad for bringing up Shador Sanders. That is my fault during the lightning round.
Open the can of worms.
I apologize, and it will not happen again. Sean, I will be ignoring any future Shador chats as we roll through these messages. Larry, back here.
We got to get to the bottom.
12 by 11, 0.75, trade 2. So it's a different trade, but I think in the same kind of league.
The first one you said trade 1, so I think he had 2 trades.
Gotcha. JMO. Yeah, JMO for the 204 and the 212, Escadaboo and Kyle Williams. And you took Golden at the 201. Man, JMO is, you can buy JMO right now if you want to. I think there's a lot of nervous feelings around the Lions not picking up or picking up that option, and potentially him not being re-signed. That was kind of the vibes I got from the Brad Holmes conversation there. But with that being said, are you moving JMO for the 204 and the 212? Scatterboo and Kyle Williams.
I'm probably taking JMO, but I think it's fair.
Yeah, it's 12 by 11.
Yeah, I'm just not the biggest like. I don't know. Like I feel like JMO I could have probably done a little bit more with, but I'm also not the biggest JMO fan. So
Yeah, I know. It's tough because you don't want to ignore the production you see, and I think if JMO is similar to what he did last season, and people kind of just put him into that slot of high upside, low end wide receiver 2, like he is going to carry the trade value.
Gabe Davis,
That's worth more than
Davis
this.
on the Bills.
I want to, yeah, I want to give him more than that, but I can't argue with it.
It's like a juiced up Gabe Davis, where it's like you go against JMO, and the two things you think are, when is the Lions game over? Because it's like that's a player
JMO's
that will win you a
doing,
week or lose you. Yeah, it's like 3 points or 30.
Yeah, what's up, Buckeye DK? Traded away the 1-3 and the 104. Now I hold the 106, 107. Is that the 203, 204, 205? Ooh, I would need to know the format, because that I will say that 103 and 104, I'm a big fan of the top 5 in this class, and I do like 6 through probably 6 through 14.
You're gonna have like Higgins, Burden, like
you're getting your
RJ
shots.
Hardy. Yeah, I mean,
it is tough for me to move off of those top 5 picks. I will say, even though I do like 6.
He did say
10
man dynasty.
I mean, I'm gonna need more context.
I hope it's a little bit deeper. I hope it's a little bit deeper starter wise, but
give me more context, Buckeye. I want to be on your side. I always want to be. We're all smart people here in the Dynasty Chatty chat, right? If you're tuning in, no, we're just a bunch of.
You gotta be.
No, I would. Yeah, shout out to Grady. All right, we're moving through the lightning round. A lot of more people are down on Hunter. He might be there at the 105. Yeah, I think, and that's why I just think the 101 through the 105. I mean, I think the 101's in a tier of itself. I will say that, even though I love Hunter, but I think the 102 through the 105 is just really strong. I mean, we're getting a first overall quarterback consistently. I've seen him go like at the 6th or 7th spot. I don't know. Where do you think, real quick, and then we'll move on, where do you think we've jumped the gun on Cam Ward falling in drafts? Is it when you take the second round running backs over him?
Yeah, I think he's the 105 for me. And I think there's kind of a pretty solid drop off. Just because
I like Henderson.
He's a 101, but he's not the most inspiring quarterback. He'd probably be like QB5 in last year's draft class or something like that. But don't even give me that face. We were loaded with quarterbacks last year.
Sorry. My face is this question. Sorry, I'm a look ahead, guys. It's lightning round. Okay. It's a lightning round.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Guys, Jeremy starts talking. Jeremy starts talking. I'm like, he's got this. I trust his opinion. No.
Yeah, you're good. I go back and forth between Tet and Hunter, being like taking them above each other.
It's a risk tolerance thing.
102 is Hampton locked in. I just feel like Tet has to. He's not QJ, but he has a little bit of stink to him. He has a little bit of stink to him. Where like
I think a little bit got washed off at the 108. I think, but is it the Panther stink?
I still feel
like
think? People have the stink. Yeah, I think it's like the like the Leggett stink and the. I think there's just too much stink.
Too much weight like on Bryce Young's tiny shoulders.
Hunter has so much hype. People just love Hunter. I probably would take Hunter over Tet just because I feel like I could convince someone to buy Hunter.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry. This is the weird face Will was making. 14 team Superflex. Okay. So it might be a deeper league. I'll give it that because we don't know the starters. But Stroud and the 105 for the 101, Bucky, and a 26 second. QBs are Caleb, Stroud, and Nix. The 101, Bucky, and a 26 second. Okay, I will say my face, I misread this as it was you were just giving Stroud up for this package. But 14 team.
Would you take Bucky or the 105?
I'd probably take the 105. But I think I would take Bucky over the 106.
So like the 105 in a second, or like Bucky in a second for the 105, you would take.
I'm taking the 101 over Stroud. I'll tell you that for free with this QB room.
Yeah, I feel like you take it in this QB room. It's hard to give up quarterbacks in the 14-team Superflex League, but you are getting GT, Bucky.
Yeah, it's tough, but I think when you have a decent quarterback room, you at least are fine doing this kind of move because I'm assuming it's deeper. Like hitting on the 101 being Genty, adding Bucky into your starting roster is more impactful in a deeper 14-team league.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, what would you add to the 103 to get the 101? 14-team Superflex.
103 to 101. It's hard. I feel like everyone likes to do the 102 to 105 or whatever, but to me, it's like 101 is its own tier, the 102 is its own tier, and after that, you can kind of do whatever. But I do like 3 through 5. Yeah, I do think you get a good wide receiver.
I disagree slightly, just from the perspective, and I love Hampton, and I totally agree the first round running back thing. And it is not a knock on Hampton, but I think it is just a plus on one of the highest receivers we've seen drafted. You say what you will about the risk tolerance of Travis Hunter, I totally get it. You're getting a top 8 drafted receiver in Tat and a first overall quarterback in Cam Ward. Like, I just feel like that is just so strong. And
You're kind of talking me into Tet. I'm starting to get excited about.
How am I talking the Carolina Panthers fan into Tet McMillan? That defense. Hey, you're the one that
traded away Amon-Ra. You traded away Amon-Ra, so.
I will say I traded away Amon-Ra thinking I was going to get Travis Hunter, but it turned into Amon-Ra for I think I said it right. It was Amon-Ra. It turned into a little bit of finagling in the second round to move up to get Burden, but not much I had to add. But I turned Amon-Ra into WRL chat. I turned Amon-Ra into Hampton, Igbuka, and Luther Burden. Give me a W or an L in the chat. 12 team, start 10. My wide receiver room is nasty. Chase Neighbors type beat. Okay. Just know that.
Oh, you got a W and an L. I don't know what that means. We'll have to check on that.
W. I think Tristan's just a hater. Just a will hater.
But what would you do? What would you do to move up? I don't feel like we actually answered the question.
Dang. Thank you, Harrison. Yeah, I would take the what would you ask the 103 to the 101? Yeah, you're right. We did not at all. 14 team super flex. Let's just assume it's like start 10, 14 team. Start 10. What would you add? I wouldn't.
105. 105, 103 for 101.
I think it really matters to me how impactful having 2 shots, like how deep the league is, how impactful it is to have that second shot of a. But man, Genty. I'm not gonna have much Genty, dude. It's making me sad. Last year was the year I tanked. I tanked most of my teams last year to get Neighbors and Caleb and Marv. Moved off of Marv. Don't worry, guys. But Grandpa Igbuka almost.
I think the 105-ish. It would probably be. You have to think about it.
103. Yeah. I'm probably just not doing that
something
though.
of similar value.
I would probably I would probably need to be closer to the end of the first, and they're probably not doing that. Is what it is. Just because I'm such a believer in
103
and
the 110
and Hunter and Tat. Yeah, and they're probably not doing it, so I'm probably not getting the 101, and that's why Will doesn't have the 101, guys.
I feel like you're a believer in all the top players. All the top players.
They're all good. None of them will bust. Don't worry, guys. Clip it.
Will guarantee.
Will guarantee all your draft picks will be hitting. I will say, I was talking to my friend, and I asked him, I said, am I too excited about this class? Because I feel like I have a 201 in one of my rookie drafts, and I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. Because I'm like, oh, man, I'm getting one of these running backs. I'm getting Igbuka who's falling. Like, worst case, I get a first-round receiver at the 201. Isn't that crazy? Does that feel crazy to say out loud? Worst case scenario.
Last year we had all those top end guys, the Neighbors and the Daniels and all those guys. I think this year we have more like of those kind of mid. I don't like to say the name, but like a Leggett, where it's like, okay, like they are like into the first type wide receiver types and a bunch of second round running backs, a bunch of fourth round running backs that got good landing.
Pick your flavor.
So it makes that second round a lot more juicy because it's a lot of those mid picks. You're like, okay, I could talk myself into Scattaboo.
All right,
I could talk myself into Trey Harris.
I know, yeah. That's I'm not even talking about that kind of Luther Burden, Trey Harris range and kind of that early mid second, which I think is still.
I was hyped for Burden, man. I was so bummed with that landing spot.
I don't know. I'm bummed, but I'm excited. I don't know, the press conference where Ben Johnson. I mean, you're always going to gas up your players you draft. But him talking about stud, he's going to play in the slot. Ben Johnson is just, I just feel like he's JMO. He's slightly slower JMO with, I think slightly more upside from just an overall like route perspective, full route tree. But we'll see. I don't want to talk out of my, what. We're still in we're still in lightning round mode. We just talked about the one QB value on Penix. Yeah, it's tough. I would want different players. I'm just not, especially with what Houston. Come on. Especially with what Houston did in the draft this year. I already was out on Tank Dell, and it's just really tough to see 2 receivers added with fairly high draft capital and just not think that that's their bet on.
You said it's 1 QB, you have Kyler or May. I would try to move one of them.
Yeah, they're definitely going to carry. Yeah, and 1 QB too. If
I
have 3 QBs on my roster, I don't. So.
Yeah, and all 3 of them have decent upside.
Thank you guys. All right, we're cranking through these. Oh, we're getting closer. All right, we were 20 minutes. Now we're closer to 10. A lot of pillow stuff. All right, here we go, Tato Man. Shout out to Tato Man. Appreciate you being in the mock draft.
Tato Man.
I don't forget. Traded the 105, most likely late first next year, and Devonta Smith for Puka. May have been an overpay, but was so happy I got it done. Yeah, Puka's I was saying it. I think Puka's one of the elite guys that you can buy right now. I just feel like there's some weird juju with when Devontae Adams get there. And for me, I'm just so bought in on you show me a young receiver who's had 2 years of elite production. I believe it. I don't need to see more. I'm not worried about Devontae Adams from
he also had Cooper Kupp there, and Cooper Kupp was a target hog.
Yeah,
and
took his lunch.
Produced, so.
And that's an offense that uses their guys, man. We talk about the condensed target.
It just has injury concerns. That's the only issue. I think that's why you can get a slight discount on them.
Here's the only thing, though. I would be curious, Tata, what the format's looking like, because I could see myself, and I feel like I always cop out to the deeper league format in these tearing down from elite players, but I just think it's true. 105 late first and Devonta Smith. That's three players that you're happy to throw in your lineup, especially with the 105, which I just talked about loving in this class, even though I am a Puka guy. So if it's a shallower league, I don't hate it, but I think if those 3 players will start in someone's lineup, I think that's a totally fair move.
Yeah.
All right, lightning round. We'll do this one in lightning round. After Haley Steinfeld's performance in Sinners, do you think Josh Allen takes up to another level, or do you guys think he becomes a shell of himself? Don't you ever question my man Josh Allen? Somebody banned.
I hope
Patrick
he finishes as QB1. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
He goes from QB2 to QB1 overall. That'll be his big comeback.
Right. I don't know what this is in regards to, but I appreciate it. I deserve it. That's fair every now and then.
I think that was Sanders. You were talking about Sanders there.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have addressed it then. Are you buying Miles Sanders if you're a contender? What are you doing with the Dallas? I just think it's not worth anyone in the Dallas backfield because you're going to have to pay for. Probably Javonte Williams is the one that carries the most juice right now. But
I'm hyping myself up for Blue, man.
Yeah.
I feel like people think he's gonna stink, and I'm like, well, if I can get him in the 4th round, it's or a late 3rd.
I've seen
what I'm doing with Miles Sanders is nothing. If he's on waivers, I might pick him up for 0 fab, but you can get other running backs that have similar situations to Sanders for free. So I'm not even worrying about Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Bucky overrated. We talked about this a little bit, and I think it's more of the running back position. So the especially after this class, you could see Bucky just in the overall people's feelings and vibes, like the RB ranking that Bucky carries. But I think he still falls in the tier of should give you elite production when he's healthy and plays, which is all I really care about. Now, if I can move him, like we talked about, if I can do Bucky plus for BTJ, Bucky plus for any of those elite receivers, I'm doing that in an instance. But in an instant.
Right?
I'm doing it instantly.
Instantly.
I'm doing it in an instant. All right, sorry guys. I gotta watch film. I might after the stream. I'm just gonna rewatch this back on 2x and improve for next week. Please come back. All right. What's up, Isaiah? There we go. 10 team super flex PPR tight end premium. Pickens and Jalen Warren or the 104? Oh, give me the 104.
10 teams. Yeah,
10
104, especially 10
In an
teams.
instance, I'm doing that. In an instantly, I'm smashing that. Don't hold Bucky. Bucky's a solid. Here's the thing, guys. I just feel like people feel this. I just feel like people aren't paying the Bucky price, man. Like, what are you actually selling Bucky for? Give me the receiver. I'm not talking about a tier
106.
up.
106.
106?
Right?
Yeah. I don't think you're getting the 105 for Bucky. I mean, Bucky or Henderson.
I would rather have Bucky.
I just think there's a little bit of value in we've seen it happen. Now I think you can get caught with your pants down when you do that too much. With we've seen it happen, you're not willing to move off of players or tier up. But
Tyron Tracy, for example.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to believe that Bucky doesn't. I'm not even talking about like. I just think we're so past running backs, other than like Genty or potentially Hampton getting first round draft capital. Other than like those running backs who can handle that kind of like elite. This guy's getting 20 touches a game. Like, you give me an efficient running back in a good offense who's like going to get those fun touches and was used on the goal line. Like, sign me up for that if I can move it off for elite production. Oh, we got a puck request. We got a good one in Carolina.
Our friend Alex with the 1 QB league said he got a late 26 second for Penix. Would you do that?
Single quarterback, late 26 second?
Yeah, instead of the third in Tankdale.
What can you if you put a late second on the block, is anyone knocking on your door? I would probably do a random second. It's just so hard.
Get him to throw in that third, and you got a deal. Like the 27 third, 26 second.
Make it be 27. Let's add a little variance to that. All right, what are your
it could be Jeremiah Smith if he falls to the second round.
Tristan, I think we found common ground. I'm a Burden guy. He's a steal at the 201 in your rookie drafts. I traded up to the 203. I made it happen. Burden was still there. I took him.
Okay, Will, we're gonna have an intervention here.
Uh-oh.
Top 12 Dynasty pick. Which one are you not in?
Let me pull up. I'm going to pull up my... All right, here's what I will say. I am soft fading the tight ends in 0.5 or less tight end premium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to soft fade those guys. Just give me the running backs that project better. Yeah, give me the running backs that project better. Give me the first round receivers, for sure. Now, with that being said, if you're gonna like make me take a look at it, I'm pulling up my one of my rookie drafts here. I mean, you could talk me into any of these running backs. I think Judkins is probably the one that just like at the price, having to take him like at the 108, 107, he's probably the one I'm like most willing to, like, if I want to take a running back and Judkins feels like the pick, I'm trading back and trying to let me just get Harvey, Caleb Johnson, doesn't matter to me. Let me just trade back
any one of those.
Get value on that. He's probably the one that I'm most willing to fade. And I actually did trade out of a Judkins pick to a Browns fan to take Ibuka. So that was the Will draft.
I agree. I do think Judkins, especially behind that offensive line, the offense is a mess. They had like I think 5 picks and they took 2 quarterbacks and 2 running backs.
And I like
not going to be that much better.
I like Dylan Sampson. Now I'm not saying like 50-50 split. I'm not going to pretend that the second round pick running back is not going to get the lion's share of the work. Not pretending that at all. But I just think if we're talking about the running back position, we care most about production, and I think Judkins is the one that scares me the most.
Got to give a shout out to Michelle staying up past her bedtime. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Sleep tight. Sweet dreams.
I think we are after we finish the lightning round, which we're getting close.
No, do not sleep tight. Do not sleep tight.
Do not sleep tight. But after we finish the lightning round, I think we are one like away from a rookie mock draft.
Oh, let's go. All right. I don't know if the 1 man or 100 gorillas fits into the lightning round vibes. We're getting closer though. I'm seeing some real picks. Let's get the likes. We'll get ready for the mock draft, and while we're getting it set up, maybe we'll tackle this, Tristan. Let's see. Let's get all right.
How many firsts would you give up for Darnold? 0.
Are you scared about Darnold? You think crappy Seahawks out of the playoffs are playing Jalen Milroe at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they're not in contention, I feel like you might see Milroe. I don't think they're going to give up on him, but I think it might be like, let's see what he has.
Why not?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like Milroe's probably you probably won't see Milroe actually.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe next year, like once Darnold has a full year, and then he gets his second year. If that's not going well, then we might get a Milroe experience.
You've got shout out Becca, #1 mod in the chat. Usually within a few days, turnaround time for the rest reviews. Jeremy, can you confirm? Can we get double confirmation on that?
Yeah, it usually takes like 1 to 2 weeks. It depends on like how many I have. I think I have 2 right now, so I plan on doing those tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing with Bucky, and I think the like we'll never have higher value is kind of like a tough proposition because it's all about what you can actually get for the player, right? So like I totally agree that if like the KTC Bucky that exists on that website, like if you can turn that into elite wide receiver, whatever, adding on to whatever makes sense, consolidating, I'm all for it. But I think Bucky is fine for what he is. As a running back who I think will probably smash.
Zach Moss coming back from the dead.
I think Chase Brown. I think like the tier downs to some of those fun running backs, like Chase Brown is kind of an interesting conversation with Bucky. Like I could have those since it's easier to tier down in most leagues than it is to tier up. Unless we're talking deep formats, like I'm sure we're all in a lot of 12x10s and 12x9s where everyone's like, what can I add to get to Justin Jefferson? It's like nothing, dude. Like I'm going to start him for the rest of his career. All right. Shimmy here. 12 team Superflex. Start 10. Give the 103, the 310. Get DJ Moore, the 109, the 210, and the 305. DJ Moore's giving me the heebie-jeebies, man. I'm not going to lie. Somebody sent me a trade in the rookie draft.
DJ Moore guy.
I'm not super anti DJ Moore. I do think Ben Johnson is spreading the message of if you are a pass catching weapon on the Chicago Bears, you are going to be trying. And I think DJ Moore does need to hear that a little bit. But man, we talked about that 103.
But would you do like
Denty,
let's say Tet for DJ Moore in the 109?
Why does it have to be Tet? Can it be Hunter for me?
I mean that's what you. Okay, Hunter.
Yeah.
See, you like Hunter more than Tet.
I do.
Okay, I'm out on Tet now.
There we go. Yeah. 107.
Talk me back into reality.
Give me Igbuka straight up. The 103. Okay, that's the tough part of it. So the 109, you're still making that running back
wide receiver too. You're gonna end up with like a Harvey or something, or like a someone like that, and then you also pick up an extra second. It's not super deep to where like, oh, this second's super juicy, but
yeah, and it is kind of past that range. Like I do like the mid first up until like the 208 to be able to hit like a Trey Harris or one of those, Higgins, one of those receivers that went early second. But
I mean, you could have Shedeur Sanders or someone crazy like a couple Mason Taylor pull down some.
Yeah, it's definitely it's still a fun pick, but man. I mean, DJ Moore's young. I'm just so in on Hunter. 12 team star 10. And like the Hampton consolidation prize. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I think if this was a 12 team start 11 or start 12, I'm taking the package just because the DJ Moore plus the 109 running back is going to impact my team. But 12 team start 10, I think give me the shot on the dynasty receiver that I'm able to move for whatever I want next season, potentially. Allegedly.
Yeah. I would only do the package in that case if my team is like literally garbage.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's really impacting your team.
I get 2 shots. I can move DJ Moore for something else.
There we go. Tristan and I are kind of hitting tonight. We it started off rough, but I think we're good.
You coming back around?
There we go. Tristan hates the Red Sox. I neutral. I could be convinced to hate the Red Sox if it'll improve the Tristan Will relationship. All right, would you trade the 106, the 207, and the 309? Wow. For 27 seconds. I think I'm just gonna move past that one.
Yeah, we moved past that one.
Follow up from before. All right, so this is that Stroud trade. So 14 teams start 10. So I'm gonna pull up the other one as well so we can reference them. So instead of Stroud, it would be Bo Nix and the 205 and the 301 for Bucky and the 101. So you'd have Stroud and Caleb. So I want you to look at that for a second, and then I'll pull up the other one as a reference.
I think I like that more, to be honest. Right? What was the other one again? Because you give up Stroud in the other one. I kind of like Stroud more than Nix. Because I feel like what could happen with Nix is like he kind of has like a meh year, and then everyone's like, oh, he's like a 27-year-old quarterback that we all now remember why we didn't like him. You know, where it's like Stroud, I'm like
lost his passing game coordinator to the Lions.
That's true.
Not that I'm super excited about that. Just want to.
But I think that's a great deal too, because like wasn't the other one you give up a first as well? I thought it was like Stroud and the 105.
Let's see.
Bucky and the 101. I would definitely do that one. That one, give me Bucky and the 101. I get 2 locked in studs.
Yeah, I'm having to go to the other.
Yeah,
I'm cut off, but I can go back to the. I'm control effing for you, okay, BY. Just know that Stroud and the 105 was the other move. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh my gosh!
You take the next one.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy we looked at that. I'm happy we looked at that because yeah. What was the question?
Which one?
Let me know. Henderson over Bucky. I think it's. I'm going Bucky, but I get it. I do like Henderson a lot. That's why I talked about the 106 being the Bucky spot. I think that's, you know, if you want that to be Henderson, I'm not gonna hit you for it. All right. Here we go. Here we go, Tato man. So I had the Puka trade earlier. Okay, I remember that one. Was it?
Yeah.
Paid the piper, but got Puka. 12 team single quarterback. Forgot to clarify. Still have the 102. Okay, that makes the picks matter less. So that like first that you were adding on, questioning to get Hunter or Hampton with. I think for me, I mean, I'd be curious to know what your team is looking like. I mean, if you think Hampton is like a slot in, plug and play, like if you have some of these deeper running back rooms or you're kind of already set at this position for next year, I don't hate taking the Hunter bet, but I know Jeremy's a Hampton guy.
Yeah, I just feel like it's locked in. Like Hunter is exciting, but Hunter, yeah, like I would still take Neighbors and Marv over Hunter in last year's draft. So, but Hampton I think would have been up. Like I could see people taking Hampton over like a Neighbors in last year's draft. So,
all right, do we want to try to get this mock draft rolling? I think we're pretty caught up.
I think we can give it a shot.
Unless we didn't hit the quota, then we can end stream right now.
We hit the 15 likes, so we can try to do a quick one.
All right. We can do a quick one. We can end on this. Some closing thoughts. Let's go super flex. 12 by 10. What do you want to do? 1.0 tight end premium, so they matter a tiny bit.
Yeah, let's do that. Make it a little bit more interesting.
All right, 1.0. This is super flex, 60 second, rookies only. Linear. All right, get ready YouTube. Jeremy, I think I messed it up last time I put it in the other chat, so I'm putting it in
you're good
chat now. If you guys want to get in the mock draft, so It is QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I'll add super flex fishing. I think somebody got confused on that just because I didn't have it in there.
Yeah.
But it is labeled as a super flex. Oh, I probably should get in this, huh?
Yeah, we maybe. I see Tato Man said he feels like he made a big brain move because he forced him into a rebuild and he has his future first as well.
Ooh, there you go.
So that's your ball. You get Hampton, you get Puka. I mean, come on, man.
Do you know what's the funnest thing and saddest thing at the same time is when somebody reaches out to you. This happened to me a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Colton. He reached out to me and said, "Hey man, what off my roster will get me my 26 first back?" And I looked at his roster and that thing was rough. I was like, "I'm sorry, bro."
I'm sorry.
One, I'm excited for this pick. Two, I don't think your entire team could get this 26 first back. So sorry, buddy.
What do you think of Anthony Richardson in a 26 first for Saquon and Ramondre? I don't want to ignore Daniel.
Yeah. I could see myself paying a random first for Saquon. If it's the final piece in my infinity smash stone for my contending team, I would probably try to find a different way to get running back production than just giving up a first. But I mean, Saquon's a fine running back to do it for. So I don't hate it.
I will say this is a trade on my team, so that's why he's posting it. And I told him no because I was like, I traded 2 first for CMC 2 years ago, and obviously we know how that went. So I'm like, I also still have CMC. I'm like, I'm not trading another first for a running back that just had like a career season. Like I already made that bet once.
Yeah.
Kind of have to just live with it.
That's the thing too. That's when you can really get in trouble. And I mean, not to any fault of your own, but that's how you can get in trouble with these contending teams is when you're like, I want my lineup to look so sick. My projection is going to be 20 points higher than every other team. And you trade away all your firsts and you lose because, Jerome Ford for the Browns had 20 carries for, a touchdown and 3 catches. And you're like, gosh, dang it, I lost. Happens. All right, what do we got? We're 4 away.
We're 4 away. So we're getting close.
I think this is the only one we're doing. This is it. So if you want to get in here, click the link in the chat.
Gotta click it. Did we hit? This might be. I might be rolling this back. I don't remember covering Sean's second roster. He posted 2 rosters in the live stream ask, so we can hit that while we fill this one up.
Yeah.
And I can post this in our channel too and see if.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see it. This one's got Genty on it. Man, Sean, you're getting all the running backs. You had Hampton the other one, got Genty in this one.
You got to pull up that portfolio. You probably got a nice portfolio there.
Probably got a lot of Brees Hall.
Hey, Travis Hunter at the 107 is insane.
At that point, it's like, what are we doing? That's like all the risk is out the window. You're like making the same bet you are with like
and RJ Harvey at the 201. This is a draft I like. I love this draft. And his wide receivers stink, right? Like Hunter, you slot him in. You got Rice. Shaheed's fine.
Why does it look like this? It's fine. All right, we'll do this over the draft capital.
This is a pretty solid run. Ooh, I think we might have a full party.
Let's go. All right, let's get it rolling.
Vargas starting us off. You got the fun pick.
And we'll revisit this at the end. All right, we got Genty, Hunter. Is that you, Tattoo Man? I think we did pull this up. It did give us a little giggle, I think, is what it did. And then we moved on. Yes, there we go. I need to know the Yoshi Voss trade.
I think Tristan's on our bad side again.
This guy. All right, we're going Hampton. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make you talk about a pick.
The integrity, Tristan.
DB6, this guy. Somebody.
Oh, I'm up.
Becca, can you ban this guy, please?
Um, let's see.
I made Hampton be the pick so that you had to kind of figure this one
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna say here. Obviously, I think it's Ward or McMillan. Superflex, I'm just not the most confident in Ward. Like, I don't want to use that high end draft capital if I don't have to. So, I for me, 104 right now is definitely Tet. I feel like that's a solid bet. Like all the things you said to talk me into him. Of he's a top eight pick.
Mhm.
Panthers have no real, alpha wide receiver. Hopefully he's not a bust. I really don't want him to be a bust.
I
Part of me's
just
like,
I mean, it's the Greg Roman, Harbaugh. You like the offense. It's so hard to not get excited
Yeah.
about a first round running back, man, who did what he did over the past couple. Here's the thing. I mean, prospect profile wise, I mean, no disappointing season. That's the tough thing with some of these running backs is, you have a year that was a little bit off or whatever, but Drake May or not, he was smashing. So I'm all in
Yeah.
on Hampton at the 102, 103. I'm leaning Hunter in most cases, mostly because of the wide receiver position. All right, we see Caleb Johnson go, and then so here's the inflection point where I talked about it, taking the
yeah.
Ogbuka over the tight ends. It is a 1.0 tight end premium, and I do like Tyler Warren. Totally understand if you want to make that pick. I'm a big believer in Ogbuka. So most of the time,
Ibuka-
109, 110. Honestly, at the 108, I'm trading back. But yeah,
I
love
have
him.
seen guys like that, Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey, Igbuka. I've seen them oftentimes in that late first range. And that's why I say that, RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey at the
What can I
112.
say?
Jackson Darts. Are you a Jackson Dart over these like Golden Burden? Ooh, we got Burden over Golden. Do you think the Golden hate has gone too
Yeah,
far? First round receiver.
I, I think a little bit, but I look at these other guys and I know people like Burden more. I know people like Igbuka more. I know I personally love the Harveys and Johnsons. And to me, I'm like, okay, do I want to take a Golden I don't want or like a Jackson Dart? I'd rather take Dart just because QBs.
Man, I just can't. I can't do Besh over Golden, man.
No, that's bold. I mean, this is the case where I take a Golden, right? It's like a 204. I'm like, sure, I should have some exposure to Golden.
Well, I mean, if you're sitting there at the at the 202, are you taking? You said you're Burden over Golden in most spots.
I just feel like that he'll flash more, and even if he doesn't play, he'll hold his value, kind of like a JSN type or in Dunze, where it's you can talk yourself back into him.
Yeah.
Especially if they get rid of DJ Moore next year or something like that.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. I totally get the stats, prospect profile, the small sample we have of Golden being a really productive college player. I totally get all of that. And I get the speed stuff too. I think that's probably another thing that's kind of pushing him down is the 40 feels it's like this big conspiracy theory. Like that wasn't actually his 40 time. And he doesn't, he does not play at that speed if you watch Matthew Golden. But he is fast.
Yeah, no.
He is fast. I think.
Oh yeah, he's very fast.
And he's a first round receiver, man, for a team that I think desperately needs a guy. And you feel like it's crowded and they do spread the ball around, but man, crowded is what do we got? Dontavius drops per route run Wicks. We've got Jaden 60% route share read. We've got Christian
who also drops it a lot.
No hammies, Watson, Tootin. Do you have a hard take on Scadaboo Tootin over some of these second round receivers? I tend to take them, especially in leagues where like wide receiver 2s and 3s don't really matter. Like my small PPC leagues, I'm definitely leaning the running backs just because they make such a bigger impact on my team.
I mean, I'm taking Scadaboo at the 204 if Golden isn't there. To me, I'm just like I Golden falling. I'm like I need to take him, but I'd rather have Scadaboo over Harris or Higgins. I just feel like a Scadaboo, Tootin I'm a little bit lower on. Like I probably dabble with the Harris over Tootin type deal, but to me, I feel like Scadaboo. People all watch the playoffs. People all love that crap. And the situation in New York is perfect.
All right, I'm gonna take off
New
this
Orleans.
first round. Yeah, and here's what I was just about to talk about
That's
is,
spicy.
man, just the drop off where I really want one of these mid firsts to be able to take one of these second round receivers versus having to kind of like call my shot on like one of these tight ends in a format that maybe doesn't matter that much. Here's tough, and this is why I like that first half mid round or mid part of the second round. If you just look at all these second round receivers, running
this
backs.
is a 1.0 tight end premium, right?
It is 1.0. I am leading. I do like Arroyo. I like the way they've talked about him, potentially not, being kind of that same like fan blocker receiver mold, potentially being able to play more. I'm going to go Mason Taylor. I think the thing for rookie tight ends, I think he is most likely to get on the field rookie season for all the non-Warren Loveland tight ends. And I like the Milrow pick there too.
I was about to say, I think Taylor's probably the pick there just because he was a high second round pick. The Giants have very limited options outside of Garrett Wilson. And their 3-headed running back crew, the best committee in the NFL. Sanders.
There he is, and that's our boy. Sean Shador Sanders.
He loves a mock draft and he loves Sanders. That's okay value. I would take Sanders there.
And Becca, and for anyone who is confused, so this is set up to where, and I know it looks weird because I take off the first round, I put the fourth round at the left, but the picks are supposed to be the pick of the round they were in. So you see Jaden Higgins at the second pick of the second round, Judkins the fourth pick of the second round, and then the teams that they were drafted to. And then the positional rank is just where they went in comparison to the rest of the position. There's your early third, Blue.
Ooh, early third.
Yeah, I think the best at the 203 thing for me is, honestly, I like Trey Harris more and Higgins more, and then Golden. I think it's a war crime to take Besh over a first round receiver. Even though I'm fine with the spot. Warren too high.
This is tough for me. I go between a fourth, like a Dylan Sampson or something like that. Do I want to get gross with like Tyler Shogue or do like a tight end with a tight end premium? Honestly, I think I'm gonna go Fanning.
Yeah.
People just love this dude for a third in a boosted tight end premium league. And he could potentially play some slot. There's not a ton of pass catchers. There's Deontay, Judy, and like Njoku. I see him getting some usage there.
I see here Bob Warren too high, which I think is interesting because Loveland goes at the 108 and Warren at the 111. So are you fine with Loveland at the 108 in a single or 1 point tight end premium? Burden Mesh Golden before Harris is crazy. I like Harris. I do like Harris, and I think he is. I probably, if you put my foot to the fire, I potentially would take him over Higgins. I just can't take him over these first round receivers, man. I don't get the Golden hate.
I would take Golden and Burden both over Harris. I feel like.
I hate it, but I like the Shuck pick. I will say. I think he is starting games for the New Orleans Saints this year, and you're getting that in the middle of the third. Indistinguishable
with Ryan.
Here's the thing. Also, I totally agree with you, Ray here. Those tight ends. I mean, look back. I encourage you guys when you're taking these rookie tight ends and looking at where you're going to take them. Look back at where insert random tight end that went in the third, fourth round went in past rookie drafts. Like a lot of these guys aren't even seeing the field at this point. All right, I'm kind of past the point where I care. I mean, you got Gunnar Helm, fourth round. It's not excited about the tight ends.
Yeah,
we start getting into like
Dylan
the
Gabriel.
prospects I like. Dylan Gabriel, like Noel. I'm having a tough time doing the IO manner. Just with the draft capital, we're past the QBs that I care about taking. 28 seconds.
Hey, your guy's there. You got Giddens.
All right, so get into like the 401. I'll take Jalen Noel here. I know obviously same draft, Jaden Higgins going in the second, but third round receiver. He could start pushing Christian Kirk as soon as the season I could probably at this, that's probably the last receiver I'd be excited about taking. Even though my boy Isaac Tesla sitting there.
I will say I think Warren in a full PPR
Agreed.
is properly priced, right? Like if it's a full extra PPR for tight end premium, I couldn't see him going too much lower.
Shout out Tricky Trev. Pat Bryant, where are you at the press conference, obviously, from I don't know if you saw the comparison made to Michael Thomas that Sean Payton gave, where it was like we saw a lot, and he did the you don't want to put those lofty expectations on a receiver. But I mean, Sean Payton, we saw with Vele last year, like this is a guy who finds his guys and plays them. Now it's hard deciphering that, do we know at this point if Marvin Mims is a Sean Payton guy? Like, I feel like we still don't know that, but wouldn't surprise me at all. We've seen it with the little Jordan Humphreys of the world. I think if he finds this guy, regardless of, second round versus third round draft capital at the wide receiver position, historical hit rates will tell you not an amazing bet to make in the third round, but wouldn't surprise me at all.
In the fourth round, just give me gross running backs, right? I'm just looking at those running backs. That's all I really care about.
I'm going to push against you, Bob. Woody is a third down back, waste of a pick. I think the year is 2025, and man, if I get a running back that can catch passes and is going to be like deployed in that sense, I mean that's worthwhile in a lot of my dynasty leagues. 12 team start 11, start 12s. If you're giving me a running back that is going to catch passes, I don't think that's a waste.
And
of a
two,
pick.
like let's not act like Mixon has never been hurt before, right? Like all it takes is Mixon to miss 4 games, and then all of a sudden Woody Marks is getting crazy usage. And that in the late third, fourth, that's all I'm really looking for is like, oh, can I tell myself a story of Kyron Williams going down and Hunter having a 10-point per game upside.
Ty Felton should be gone already.
Ty Felton, we got some Ty Felton believer.
Well, we got the third. I mean, a lot of those third round receivers have already gone. Savion Williams, we saw go pretty early. I guess 3.9 is not insane. Earlier than I would take him, but I'm on the clock here. And you can take these shots. I don't hate Torrey Horton. I'm not too concerned about Cup MVS as far as and at this point, you're not even really making a bet for this season. Usually at this point, third, fourth round, I'm leaning more towards these running backs.
I will say I do agree that I do think Gabriel will get the first start, but the issue is Gabriel goes out, throws 2 picks. It's going to be Sanders. So it's the same with like Pickett. Like he's just kind of a dead man walking there.
Yeah. I mean, drafts for ceiling. Who wants Chase Edmonds PPR scammer type of roster clogger? Well, I think it depends on what you think the pick is, because if you're talking about, I'm not trying to, hey, we're not in an argument here, but if you're talking about Ty Felton and you're coming to me with Woody Marks being a roster clogger, I'm just saying, we could do Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson. You're hoping Ty Felton kind of becomes the consistent wide receiver 3 production that we saw from Jalen Naylor and whatever from the Vikings there. But still, I don't think you can hate on taking running back shots.
Oh, we got a 5th round.
I didn't even realize. Maybe I wouldn't have taken James there. Third round draft capital, KOC. I'm already making the case for Marks with injuries. No, I just think I think it's just I think year in and year out in the third and fourth round, and hey, Jeremy from Dynasty Daddy fame has edited a video talking about this exact thing, where if you look back in your rookie drafts, and this is, I could be totally wrong. Maybe you look back and you disagree, but I've looked back, and if you look at the third and fourth round, most of the crazy jump in value is the running back position versus the wide receiver position. Now you get a Puka, you get an Amon-Ra every now and then, but you get these running backs, these Tyrone Tracy's, these Bucky Irvings, and even outside of that, like a running back who establishes a role, especially in a league that is really leaning away from, the Ezekiel Elliott. We have a running back who's getting, that's probably not the best example, but the Saquon Barkleys, like those are more rare than they were 10 years ago. The running back position is typically a split backfield.
Well, I think too, and this is something I always say is like if you have to start a player in your roster, like for example, like I think Chase Edmonds was behind what was it, David Johnson back in the day? It's like it doesn't matter like if the starter does go out, you feel confident starting the Woody Marks because he's probably going to get 10 to 15 touches. Whereas Ty Felton, if his wide receiver one goes down, it's not like, oh, I can start him in my flex and feel good about that. In this range, I'm literally just saying, is there a point in time where I can start this guy? If it's best ball, then we could potentially talk something else. But historically, none of these guys are going to really have any sort of upside, except even running backs. Most of them are not going to be anything. You're going to have the Kendre Millers and things like that. But you also have, the Tyrone Tracy and the Bucky Irvings. Every single year, there's one.
Yeah, and it's all right. We've got this is a 8-man, not a 10-man. I just saw the next check come through. Whammerus rebuilding into Superflex Dynasty 8-man. Took Hunter at the 103, love it. Traded up for the 105, love it. RB room is a fair bit more dire than wide receiver, but I still have the 201, 202, and 204-2. Is the 105 Tet or an Ohio back? Now, I think the 201, especially in an 8-man, you are definitely getting one of those running backs. So I would not force yourself, especially you did take Hunter at the 103. I mean, how dire are we talking? I probably would still. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just take Tet. I was about to say I would take Tet at the 5 and assume that I can either pick guys with the early seconds or trade for them. I could say, okay, let me go get an Aaron Jones or
that 201,
something like that.
I mean, that 201 is this Caleb Johnson, Harvey, Judkins range in an 18 league. So yeah, I would not, I would not force that pick at the 105, unless you're like, hey, RBs carry so much weight, like I'm able to move these guys easily, whatever. I get that, but I'm still leaning Tet there. I mean, we've got a top 10 NFL receivers. You just look back at the hit rate; it's hard to fade it. Edmonds is very good in a window. Let's not forget the offseason went to Miami, got major hype. Yeah, and I think it's not even necessarily a bet on like the upside of the running back position itself, but just the floor that a running back that is on a roster gives you, right? So I'm even talking Cam Akers for Houston, randomly giving you a start that you can throw into your roster versus wide receiver 4.
When you're listening to the fantasy footballers and they're doing their waiver wire pickups every, and what are they going to tell? It's just going to be running back, quarterback. That tells you how you should build the bottom of your rosters. It should be all these running backs and should be quarterbacks in the Superflex league. It's hard to have wide receiver 3s, wide receiver 4s, guys buried on a depth chart that actually make a difference.
And they exist. Like the outliers happen at the wide receiver position for sure.
Amon-Ra. That's like once every 5 years.
Who's your wide receiver? I've got 2 I really like, just in terms of like I'm doing a total dart throw. Do you have any other wide receiver position?
Like dart throw guys?
Yeah, like I'm talking fourth, 5th round, where you just for some reason you're hitting the wide receiver position.
I will say, Tesla. Going in the 5th round, I think you took him in like the 3rd yesterday.
The trade that the Lions.
Sunday.
Here's what I'll say about Tesla. RAS freak. I mean, speed demon. Brad Holmes talked about seeing him at the Senior Bowl and just loving his blocking. I think that played a huge part in it, that he can do that for. Wouldn't surprise me if he's a special teams guy as well. So there's definitely a route where he matters for the Lions, but not in a way that matters for fantasy. But I will say, there is an existence, an alternate universe in the world where Jameson Williams does not re-sign with the Detroit Lions, and they love Tesla so much, and he's so good, run blocking, he's just killing it in practice, that they put him on the field. I mean, this is a team that's played Josh Reynolds, Tim Patrick off of 14 ACL tears, bless his heart. Would not surprise me at all if he makes a push for the receiver room, especially with what they gave up, man. Lions gave up a lot to get Tesla.
I will say, I think my guy, if I had to pick one, maybe be like get real crusty, Torrey Horton.
Ah,
I see a path for him to start. If Cup stinks, They don't have Lockett and DK anymore. It's JSN Cup.
He's
So,
kind of
I mean,
he's kind of the type of receiver. I mean, MVS a little bit from like a field stretcher. Like I get that, but he's kind of the type of receiver that they gave away that and then replaced with all these slot guys.
Yeah, so he kind of fills a little bit of a different role. So I'm hoping if I had to pick like one guy that could break out, and he's also from a small school, so I feel like that kind of helps out. Not as much scouting. I feel like a lot of the big guys, like they know if they're good or not, versus like smaller schools.
Yeah, I think Torrey Horton, I think, was the first guy that I watched, and I might have been I don't know if it was the Colorado State game, but for some reason Will was watching a Colorado State game that wasn't like, let me watch this prospect. And I was like, dude, this guy's good.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's moving different. And maybe it was just the comparative Colorado State versus other players that were on the football field. But
I do think I remember that. I think they were going like shot for shot basically with him and like Sanders and Hunter. And it was just like this one wide receiver was taking over.
Mm. So this is
I'm a fan of him.
This is the 8-team league with the 201, 202. I think you can get 2 running backs with the 201, 202.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I would definitely just take Tet and then hammer Harvey or whoever that falls.
Yeah. And yeah, and you can double tap. I think you'll be able to double tap. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, all the running backs go. But even then, I mean, the 201, even then, so what's that? The 109, the 110, absolute worst case scenario, you're still getting one of them, right? Like there's no way that you're not getting Harvey or Caleb Johnson. And I think it's possible you get both.
Yeah, and to be honest, like you can squint. I don't care. Like give me Harvey, give me Johnson. I don't want to have to pick the one. Like it's like I just need a running back that fits that role on my team. Mm-hmm. So
this is Bob. I love these comments and call outs too, because I mean let's not pretend that Dynasty is not such a vibes based game where it's just like how people feel about certain players and their outlook. I mean, I've seen Scadaboo go pretty high. I've seen him go early second. I mean, there's probably people taking him
fun premium,
taking him over. Yeah, first round receiver. I talked about I can't do it, but like I say, I mean, as I say that, I still take him in the mid second. But yeah, I mean, people are down on Tracy for sure. I think, and then just kind of people are even forgetting that Devin Singletary's on the roster. Is the third part of that.
I will say, so like the trade database, I usually get about 5,000 trades a day. Obviously, draft season's picked up, and I got like about 40,000 trades in the past 2 days. Tracy has 935 trades in the past week. So people are definitely buying the fun premium of Scadaboo, but it also means like people are willing to buy and pay up for a Scadaboo.
Mm-hmm. All right, so so I have to say the 202 you're moving is in this 8-team league. So that is not your average 202. That's the 110, right? Because the 19 would be the 201. Got offered Olave and JT for the 105 and 202. So that's Tat and potentially Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey.
I think I'm
Olave
thinking
and JT.
I don't trust Olave.
Yeah,
I don't trust Olave in the shallow league. Like he's just not going to be anything. And what he's going to have like
here's the tough thing.
Thrown to him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough this season. 5 concussions on record. Yeah,
exactly, Bob.
He's kind of an interesting. I don't know. He feels like he's. Do you feel like he's got the where Tua was at his worst, the scariest? Is he around there for people from that perspective?
He has the cheese touch.
Alongside a crappy situation. But it's so tough, dude. Like we've seen it, man.
JT's nice, but I don't want to deal with that. Would you take in a non-tight end premium league Harvey over Loveland and Warren? Like you taking Harvey over the tight ends and non-tight end premium?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I would stop. You could talk me out of. I mean, I'm probably not taking Scadaboo or Tootin over the tight ends. I think that's like the end of the running back tier would be Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be. And I'm in on Golden, Igbuka. I probably would take the tight ends over Burden.
Yeah, I think once you get to like that range, then you start taking some shots at those tight ends.
Yeah. What is Air Games for MPJ? What is Warren going to do? Warren is going to all the Warren drafters are going to be hoping. This is crazy. You ready for this? All the Warren drafters are going to be hoping we see Daniel Jones. Isn't that a sentence? Can you imagine I'm saying that in 2025?
Ooh. I'm going to be the optimist here.
I think they're going to scheme him. I think
Anthony Richardson working out with Josh Allen's throwing coach. I don't know.
Classic. Send your Anthony Richardson trade offers to Jeremy right now, guys. No, I don't hate it.
No, the thing I will say is it frustrates me because the Colts messed up that situation so bad. You drafted him, he's like a 20-year-old quarterback who played 15 games, and then they were literally like, "Wait, you're not ready? We can't just throw you into the fire." Like, you knew coming in that this was a project, and you treated him like he should have been like a 24-year-old that has 5 years of college experience, and like they just completely mismanaged it. And he's still like 22 or something. I'm not 100% out on him, but it's looking rough.
I agree. I think my take on the A-Rich stuff is I think it is half Colts mismanagement and half I do buy into some of he wasn't doing the quarterback stuff. Like he wasn't doing what needs to be done. And then obviously on top of that, just not an accurate thrower of the football. Can throw a motherfucking dime to Alec Pierce.
Oh, yeah. Those deep
40, 50 yards down the field for sure. But you get him on a Josh Downs 12-yard out, that thing is hitting the sideline.
Those things are
agonized over Hunter over Tet earlier today. Cannot believe the option to have my cake and eat it 2K to me. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's why I've talked about it, man. That 102 to 105 just feels so strong.
It does, yeah.
Now I do get when you compare it to like Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, it doesn't feel as strong. But I think But I think top 10. I think after post draft, it feels strong. Like I feel we got Hampton first rounds, great landing spot. We got top 10. Hunter feels like a good offensive situation. Cam Ward first overall. I feel good about the 102 through 105.
Yeah, we had definitely more high end guys last year, but this year I feel like it's just the depth is so like everyone. You're like, okay, I can talk myself into this player.
Yeah. Draft Warren and sit through 2 years, 10 and 20 second round pick in my opinion. Yeah, I am totally fading. Honestly, both the tight ends in non-tight end premium, but I just
think low tight end premium.
Yeah, and I think what you just, I mean, we can talk about War all the time, but just think about the production you have to get weekly from Tyler Warren for you to feel great about taking him over some of these other positions you could take in the draft, right? Like the bar, like
RJ Harvey or something like that.
The bar that those guys have to hit to impact your roster is so much lower based off of what we're expecting in the situation than what Tyler Warren has to do to smash for your non-tight end premium league when he's going. You're hoping he's going 4 for 40.
11 points, or Caleb Johnson just needs like 11 points per game, and he's like, oh, that's probably going to be a top 25 running back, and it's going to be a top 60 player in your league. Where it's Tyler Warren has to literally be a tight end, like a top 4 tight end to matter.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging out, tuning in. We're hitting the 2-hour mark, and the Will Bladder post playing pickup basketball tonight is starting to hit.
Oh boy,
starting to hit just like that Egbuka at the 109. That's how hard it's hitting right now. But appreciate you all for tuning in. Much love. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Tuesday. We
are in the midst. Obviously everyone's got rookie drafts. Hopefully you're all in slow drafts that are happening right now. Adios. Appreciate you all for hanging out, tuning in.
If you're new here, definitely join the Discord. Completely free. Constantly stay up to date on new features on the site and on stuff going on at the channel. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, see that number go up. It's more fun. It's more fun to do on stream because you can see that number count up.
Let's get a fun sign-off tagline.
Maybe something with a sackle.
I was gonna say something daddy related, and then just realized that would just not go well. I don't know if there's a scenario where hit the like, guys. Keep pounding. I think
the Panthers, baby.
when I'm watching film tonight, like, subscribe, Discorded, chatted. Oh, dang. The quadruple. I appreciate
Legend.
it. This is usually what I do sign off wise. I think we end up hitting this.
Salute.
We just end up hitting a salute every
We'll have to work on it. We'll have to workshop it.
It just, it's a work in progress, right? We'll do whatever feels you ever try to hit a joke, you're going full circle, you're ready to hit it, and then you forget the word. It's the oh man.
This is a great way.
I should close. I should just close right now, but if I feel like I need to come full circle on this. What was the word I was struggling with earlier? In an instance. Oh, that would have been. Wouldn't that have been a banger? Full circle. If I like called back to the.
Yeah, like now we're gonna end the stream in an instance.
And then now I just ruined it. Now it's fine. And this is why I'm watching film tonight. All right, guys, don't worry. I'll come back next week better than ever. The hair will grow, I promise. My wife used dog clippers on it. I don't know if you can tell.
And we got some lore.
I don't know if you guys people come from or people. Okay, I think I just need to. I think we'll. I think we'll
10K subs. 10K subs. It's a live haircut stream.
Live buzz cut stream. All right, appreciate you all. I probably should have shut the stream off like 5 minutes ago, but much love. Have a good one.
Out.
Peace out. Good luck in your rookie draft. See you in the Discord. Peace out.